Well, the national economy is struggling, but that doesn't always correlate with local economies. A couple of University of Idaho economists became business partners over a decade ago, and now their international data research company is making a positive impact on the local economy. Reporter Rachel DeBrovin tells us about the growth of the business and why it works well in Moscow. Thank you, Rachel. And EMSI was bought by CareerBuilder in 2012. They're serving clients in the United States as well as the UK, Canada, France, and Brazil. New at 11, as boating season quickly approaches, legislators are working to toughen boating laws. A Senate committee has agreed that Idaho's boating laws governing gross negligence are too vague and have now backed a measure aimed at tougher punishments for those who risk the lives of others out on Idaho's waterways. Nez Perce County Sheriff Joe Rodriguez says he's in favor of closing loopholes and promoting safer boating practices for Idahoans. This proposed bill comes after two separate cases where a judge ruled that the gross negligence law wasn't clear, so the boaters couldn't be held accountable for their unsafe boating. If passed, the old description of gross negligence would be replaced with a new definition. Well, it's certainly nice to talk about boating weather, but as weather forecaster Sophie Moralio is about to tell us, I don't think we're quite there, right, Sophie?
I know.
All right, thank you, Sophie. Well, new efforts are underway by the Obama administration to negotiate the release of Idaho's captured soldier. Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl is the only U.S. soldier in captivity. He was captured in Afghanistan in 2009 and is believed to be held in Pakistan by a group that has ties to the Taliban and Al-Qaeda. Prompting the talks are concerns over Bergdahl's health and the looming departure of most U.S. troops from Afghanistan later this year. U.S. diplomats are in discussions with intermediaries overseas to see if they can gain the soldier's release. The talks may end with a prisoner swap where 5 members of the Afghan Taliban being held at Guantanamo Bay are traded for Bergdahl. Washington state lawmakers are considering a bill that would drop the requirement that you replace your license plates every 7 years. The Senate passed the bill Monday night, and now it's heading to the House for consideration. Under the bill, license plates would only need to be replaced when the vehicle changes ownership. The measure would apply to vehicle registrations that are due or become due on or after January 1st of 2015. Well, veterinarians at Washington State University are nursing a red-tailed hawk back to health. It's still not clear if she'll be able to be released back into the wild. Idaho Fish and Game brought her to the WSU Veterinary Teaching Hospital last Friday with a very unique wound. WSU veterinarian Nicole Finch says the bird is severely underweight, but she's eating on her own, which means she'll likely survive in the hospital. However, Dr. Finch says she may not be releasable after recovery due to nerve damage that would prevent her from being able to hunt. Red-tailed hawks are one of the most common raptors found in this region, so it's hard to find a care facility for them if they can't be released into the wild. Well, the first phase of the Nez Perce County Webb Road reconstruction project is set to begin this fall. Phase 1 involves roadway reconstruction and widening, minor realignment, paving, new guardrails, drainage improvements, as well as bicycle improvements. This project will also be funded by state dollars. Bids for the project start this summer. And it wasn't all business at the commissioner meeting. Captain Steve Lutz was surrounded by friends and family as he was recognized for his decades of service to Nez Perce County. Captain Lutz worked at the Nez Perce County Sheriff's Office and is entering into retirement after 27 years. Sheriff Joe Rodriguez presented Lutz with a plaque and spoke candidly about how much he's learned serving with him. Lutz says he's looking forward to spending more time with family. A local company is getting recognition from Ford Motor Company for their use of the trucks in their business. The truck company recently filmed Morgan Lohman and his crew spraying weeds in rugged central Idaho. President Morgan Lohman did the job on behalf of the Idaho Department of Fish and Wildlife. Ford's currently featuring the small town shop on their national website, focusing on their use of Super Duty trucks. Lohman says the trucks help his company bring helicopters to remote locations for challenging jobs. Well, a local fundraiser is getting attention all over the state, and it isn't necessarily good news. We tell you why some people have a problem with one of the events and hear the response from those organizing it. But first, a look at local stocks. You're watching KLEW News.